Welcome to Kairali News, Comrade Vinodha Karat.
Thank you.
Now our topic is this UP rape and things like that, Hathras is a black spot, rather a dirty spot on Indian democracy. Why is this kind of recurring incidents take place in India?
First of all, let me use this occasion to strongly condemn the horrific and barbaric rape and murder of a 19-year-old Dalit girl in Uttar Pradesh. Although it is true that crimes against women are increasing all over India, to really bring justice to the girl and her family in this case, we have to put it in the specific context of Uttar Pradesh. Everywhere cases are increasing. That is one reality. And of course, because of that, we know there's little political will to ensure the punishment of the guilty. It's one of the reasons. But in Uttar Pradesh, it is a different situation. In Uttar Pradesh, what we have seen, specifically ever since Adityanath has become the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, that is the combination of caste bias, of class exploitation, and of patriarchy. Now, this is a typical made in India, made in Uttar Pradesh social crossing. We don't find it anywhere in the world, and many states of India also. It is not as virulent and toxic as it is in Uttar Pradesh. So first, this case happened because the girl was Dalit, because the girl belonged to an agricultural worker's family, so she was very poor, and her family was subordinate to the upper caste zamindars, the landlords in the village. And the third, because she's a 19-year-old girl. So that is the context that we must look at the Uttar Pradesh case. Yeah. And undoubtedly, without any hesitation, I can say, we have seen many cruel regimes, many casteist regimes, many misogynist regimes. But Adityanath regime in Uttar Pradesh, the number of cases where he has shown through his actions and that of his administration that if the caste brotherhood is such, which he is interested in protecting, you can do any crime you want, you will be protected.
I will come to the UP situation in length later on. Let me ask you a question. What is the caste, class and politics factor of a rape on Dalit women in India? For UP, ask.
Hey, Dalit women are at the bottom of the so-called social ladder. Yeah. And the reality is that capitalism in India has grown in compromise with these institutions, which you can say were pre-capitalist, feudal institutions, very much rooted in interpretations and practices in the name of religion and religious texts. The Manusmriti, Manuvad. So in India, when we talk about modernization of society, in India, the way capitalism has developed, the way class exploitation has developed, is by using a social institution as caste, which has become systemic to Indian politics and economics. So it is this not only confluence, but the utilization of caste for further exploitation of working people, because even in rural India, the largest section, if you look at social composition of workers, of the rural proletariat, of the landless, they are Dalits, because Dalits were never permitted by the Shastras to own any land. So this is critical in understanding the situation of Dalit women.
Do you think that this caste, class and politics-based rape and atrocities on Dalit women and women as a whole increased after BJP came to power?
It has increased, that's what the figures show. And the BJP for the last so many years has been trying to suppress the figures of the National Crime Research Bureau. Earlier they were given to us every year. But now, as soon as Modi ji came, there are two things Modi ji is terrified of. One is the truth, which is reflected in facts and statistics, which you cannot manipulate. And the second is unity. These are the two
Do you
terror instruments
yeah.
that Modi ji, he cannot bear the truth.
Do you think that there is something more than to sex, some sort of caste, class, authoritarianism in these cases?
You cannot look at these cases without dealing with patriarchy also. You cannot separate caste and class from the compromise with patriarchy in India. And patriarchal practices and attitudes are ingrained in so many religious texts, as I mentioned, Manuvad. And there are others also. And practices and interpretations of texts which are considered very important to communities.
How do you assess the role played by Adityanath government, his police and his bureaucracy?
I believe that it was such a shocking, callous, cruel, casteist role that this man has no right to remain in power.
Yeah.
He has no right to remain in power. And let the BJP today in Kerala, who are out on the streets with lies, let them answer. What about their chief minister in Uttar Pradesh? Why are there people in Uttar Pradesh not out on the streets demanding his resignation? Why are they silent about it? Because she's a Dalit, because she is poor, because Adityanath is their leader? Therefore, they don't dare to open their mouths, all these BJP leaders of Kerala and other states. What is Smriti Irani doing? Why Smriti Irani and all these BJP leaders, women leaders, where were they? So the point is, first of all, from the very beginning, the Uttar Pradesh police have sabotaged justice. Secondly, when the girl was in Aligarh hospital for 6 days, her condition going worse and worse, why the Uttar Pradesh chief minister was silent? He spoke after Modi ji rang him up. What was Modi ji doing for so many days? So the point that I'm making is that the Adityanath, as the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, he knew what was happening. Every second he knew what was happening in the case. But it is his unwritten caste code in Uttar Pradesh which made the police act as they did. Now what are they doing? They brought the girl to Delhi. Not a single senior official of the UP government went to meet the girl. We all tried to meet the family in Delhi, but we were not allowed because of COVID protocol. That we can understand. There's a problem of going into the hospital, they don't like it. That one point we can understand. But why the UP government officials did not go and meet?
It is horrible, horrible.
So they have killed her here.
Yeah.
Then they took her back.
Yeah.
And as you know what happened, they cremated.
Yeah, cremated secretly and without involving the family members and all. But my question is that this happens in Madhya Pradesh, it happened, it is happening, and then Rajasthan also it happens. All over India it happens. And take away from the politics of this. Of course, UP is a different thing. But what do you think? What is the root cause of this kind of...
No, you see, we have to understand, we cannot compare this with every other situation in all over India.
Yeah.
No, we will be doing injustice to this girl if we do that. Because even now, they are trying to subvert justice. I ask you a question.
I agree, yeah.
What is this SIT?
Sure.
What is this special investigation? Who is heading it? It is the same police. The same police who are responsible for injustice are heading the SIT. Now, we have experience of the SIT. In two other cases, one is Sengar case. He was also belonging to the same caste as the chief minister. He was a BJP MLA. He raped a 17-year-old girl. They did not arrest him for a full year. He continued in the BJP. He continued as an MLA until the High Court intervened. The High Court intervened, he was sent to jail. He was found guilty, not only of rape of a minor, but of trying to kill her father. He ultimately died. Beatings by this Sengar's brother and uncle and everyone. What was the SIT and what happened in that case?
I agree with you.
No, let me just complete.
The
CBI inquired into it. There are 4 officers of UP government who have been found guilty of dereliction of duty in the BJP MLA's rape case. 4. Out of the 4, 3 belong to the same caste brotherhood of the chief minister, which is why he was protected. Even now, ask all the BJP leaders all over India. They have so much faith in the CBI. CBI has said their officers are guilty. Why Adityanath has not taken till now action against them?
I agree with you. CBI, NIA, CAP and all these things, all these agencies, they camouflage the government mistakes and they support governments. You can see the latest one is Babri Masjid demolition verdict. But what we can do, how can you deal with all these agencies? They are part of our democratic system. What we do?
I believe as far as the SIT into rape cases are concerned, there is no question of the SIT taking an independent stand if they are under the leadership of the very police who are accused. Now look at what the SIT in this Hathras case has done. They have asked for a lie detector test against the family members. That means...
I was shocked today when after reading this.
That means they are equating the family, accusing them of telling lies and trying to equate them with the police officers who committed the crime of cremating the girl without the family being present and without their permission.
What a cruelty.
Such a cruelty. And the other thing is, I want to just raise this issue, that if a member of our family dies, even ordinarily, our friends, our other family members, our people who are sympathetic to our family, they come to give us solace, their condolences, and we get strength from them. Every family has faced some grief at one time or another. Now, this is a case where it is not an ordinary death, it is the most cruel death. And to not allow people to go there, I want to ask Modi ji and Mr. Amit Shah, is this your culture? Is this their culture? They don't allow people to go and grieve with a family. They have locked up the... Today, our viewers in Kerala should know that family is under house arrest. And not only house arrest, their phones are being tapped, their phones are being taken away, and the DM is sitting there. Today, the IG of police, the topmost police official has gone, and they are putting pressure on the family, change your statement. And that is why we had given a call from the party, women's organizations, youth, student, all sections of people to come out and protest. And there are spontaneous protests happening all over India. And those protests will continue until we get justice. My great fear is seeing what happened in the Sengar case, seeing what happened in the Chinmayanand case. Yeah. In the Chinmayanand case, I myself went to Uttar Pradesh along with Subhashini and our other comrades and our women comrades in UP, and we met that SIT, and we found they were totally biased to try and protect the criminal, yeah, and to protect the wrong investigation made by the police. In that case also, they did not file the actual rape charges which should have been filed. In that Chinmayanand case, even today that girl is suffering so much. She is as though she is the guilty, as though she is the criminal, because of the biased report of SIT. Now we are very happy. Allahabad High Court has taken suo motu notice. Yeah. That case is going to come up on 12th October. They have asked the family to be present there. But given the situation in Uttar Pradesh, given the caste code in Uttar Pradesh, there is no constitution. Baba Saheb Ambedkar's code is not there in Uttar Pradesh. In Uttar Pradesh, it is Adityanath's caste code.
Do you think it was in Babri Masjid edict that constitution code was there? Or constitution was protected there in Babri Masjid?
That is an absolute shame in the case, and not only that, yeah, even in the acquittal of all these people, it's a joke.
Farce.
But see, these are issues which affect the life of a country. Yeah. And where a Dalit girl and her family are directly in the line of fire, then it is a totally different situation in which it becomes the duty of every single citizen of India to stand up in support of them and to demand the accountability of the UP Chief Minister. Yeah. And the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. How many letters they send to states? Why you are doing this? Given an answer. What is the governor of UP doing? Every governor where there are opposition-led governments, every second day they are calling and intervening.
Do you expect
what is happening?
Do you expect any proactive action from the governor of any state?
What I'm saying is,
yeah,
that these issues of double standards and these issues of institutional compromise of one's independent role and the hijacking of certain basic democratic and secular values which are shown in this Hathras case. Yeah. It is our duty as citizens to again and again, whether they do it or not, whether they are accountable or not, it is our duty as citizens to make them accountable. I cannot become a cynic and sit back and say, "Arey, nothing is going to happen. They are not going to give justice. Let us not expect justice. Let us sit back."
Then they are doomed, you know.
We will be doomed.
Yeah.
We will be doomed. Therefore, yesterday's protest in Delhi,
yeah,
and all over India, and our uncompromising stand against the caste system.
Yeah, okay.
See, you cannot fight for justice in this case just by saying, "Arey, poor thing, they are poor, poor thing." Oh, you have to fight,
yeah,
the caste system.
Yeah. How long we can fight, and that is it's a big question, you know, and we have
Don't say that question, yeah, because it is only Indian people's fight,
yeah,
which made India independent. And it is only Indian people and their fight, and especially the fight of the uncompromising forces of the left,
yeah,
which will ensure justice. So we are optimistic in the strength of the people.
Left is a diminishing force. It is concentrated in some states only, in Kerala or somewhere.
I tell you, the protests, don't look at everything electorally. Yeah. The politics of this country and the uncompromising position of the left on all these important economic and social issues, they make a difference. And they have always made a difference. And in today's political situation where a number of parties compromise on the critical issues of secularism and against the caste system,
Agree.
we have to stand very firm. So I am optimistic because I believe that it is left ideology, which is an uncompromising fight against communalism and caste system, and for justice for women.
When we view all these atrocities against women and rape and things like that, what is your suggestion? How we can put an end to or minimize or stop all this crime? Is there any way? Should the crime, this punishment should be very harsh? Death penalty, capital penalty punishment should be given to them, or some other, castrate them or do something else? How is this?
Again, that's a long debate.
Yeah.
That debate, women's organizations and the CPM, we have put so many recommendations. The Verma Commission was there. We have put so many recommendations. Today, this government is at least bothered about it. It has no political will. You have to have the political will to fight something.
Sure.
What did Pinarayi Vijayan say in that social media case?
Yeah.
Where there was abuse against a girl on social media.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
He said, we will take the strictest. Immediately, Chief Minister intervenes.
Yeah.
Why Adityanath in this whole thing is quiet? So political will is critical. It is absolutely critical. And the BJP and the RSS, their whole ideology is a male supremacist ideology. So there are many issues. Nirbhaya fund is not being spent. The conviction rate is low. You keep on saying hang them, but now when you are going to say at the beginning that there's no gang rape, what is the use of your saying death penalty? You're saying there's no gang rape. In Sengar case, you said there's no rape. In Chinmayanan case, you're saying there's no rape. So you have death penalty to try and fool the people that you are serious, but in the meanwhile, you don't allow the case to go on and you subvert it right from the beginning. So these are issues which we are fighting for. And I think men and women together in India will have to fight together to get justice.
I thought death penalty may be deterrent, heavy deterrent on this crime. And anyway, as you said, political will is most important. Without that, nothing can happen, nothing can move here. Thank you very much for talking to Kayarli News. Thank you very much.
Thank you.